of drama behind the scene, but let's get straight to the conversation. We're getting to Osun State, and it's going to be a recurrent conversation because for those who don't follow politics, Osun State governorship election is on Saturday, and a lot of preparations, but it's been bedeviled by all kinds of violence and killings, even in some instances, and it looks like it's not stopping. So we are having as many conversations as possible from all the stakeholders, from the politicians, from the security agencies, to the electoral umpires, the CSOs, and everybody. Today, we're being joined in the program by the Public Relations Officer of the Osun State Police Command, DSP Abiodun Ojelabi. Mr. Ojelabi, good to see you again, and welcome to the program. So, good morning. Yeah, I can imagine a lot of work. But you signed up for it. Sorry about that. Are you okay now?
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Now, if you need a breather, I can give you some seconds to take a breather so that you give us all the information. So can we go ahead now, sir?
Yeah, I'm very okay. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So talk to us. The last time I had a conversation with you on another program, we did this overview over the issues of security in the state. But it looks like between then and now, things haven't really improved. Despite all the changing of commissioner, the IGP is still speaking about, concerns and telling policemen to be professional. Deployment, I'm sure, have been made. So, talk to us about the latest incident that happened and what the record of the police says. Who instigated what? What really happened? Have people been arrested? Because this happened just, I think, over the weekend.
Which incident is that, please?
I think the one in the rally, the Ilesa rally. Yes. That became chaotic, and then the one that happened at the Accord Secretariat. Yes.
Yeah, let me speak first of all to the one that happened in Ilesa. What happened in Ilesa is clear. We made a statement as regard to that. A party was having their rally, and one other party clashed with them, and in the process, they say they saw some operatives of the Amotekun shooting sporadically, and 3 people was hit by that bullet. So receiving this information, operatives moved to the scene. We made it clear earlier that the IGP, due to what is happening in Osun State, has deployed men ahead of time. Part of the men deployed the FID IRT. They have been on ground, and they were posted strategically to some high-risk prone areas, which Ilesa is one of them.
Oh dear. Mr. Jalabi, I don't know, something is something is wrong with the network, but for our audience, so those are the visuals you're seeing from the Ilesa incident. There are gory pictures that had some blood stains. We can't show you that on live TV, but this is an amateur video of the incident that happened over the weekend in Ilesa, where I think the APC was doing a rally or so. So there has been accusation and counter-accusation. There was also another incident. The APC said they were attacked. And then there was another incident at the Accord Party Secretariat, where Accord is also alleging that the APC also attacked them. So it looks like a tit-for-tat situation. And it's very worrying and unfortunate to see that our elections are being bedeviled by incidents such as this. Now, what we should be doing naturally is to be pitching ideas against ideas for the people of Osun State to make a critical decision on whether or not they'll continue with the leadership of Governor Ademola Adeleke, or they'll look for someone else to lead the state. But now all we do is to see how we can even have a peaceful poll in the first place, and see how the people of Osun State can turn out en masse to vote for candidates of their choice. But that looks like it's not over yet. That's why we're engaging the police as to what exactly they are doing to contain these excesses and bring some level of law and order in the state. Mr. Jalabi, can you hear us now? Wow. Oh dear. Wow. Oh dear. So we'll try and see whether we can reconnect with him. But I wish we could get that IGP tracker, but I'm not sure we're ready for that. Where the IGP had told the policemen that have been deployed, that will be deployed, I'm sure some of them would have headed out to Osun State to say to them, guys, you have to be professional. Any conduct that is of compromising nature, avoid, because there will be serious reprimand and ultimate sanction if you're found wanting by the book. That's to tell you how the signaling is. It's a very, almost a volatile situation for the Osun State governorship election. I think we have the IGP's track now, where he was, reeling out a few things and some of his remarks as far as this election is concerned.
The members of the public. Impunity. Ending impunity does not end with police only. It ends with every member of the community, all Nigerians as well. We will try our best to end impunity amongst our officers, and we have been showing accountability. Officers found to have compromised this law or that laws have been arrested and have been tried, and we are making it public so that people can see that we are not hiding our officers that misbehave. We have told them this election is important to the Nigerian police and to Nigerians. Everybody is looking out to see what we will do in this election. Officers know the punishment for compromising. And I'm using this opportunity to talk to them. For those of them listening, for those of them that will get to know we held this meeting, officers will be sanctioned accordingly. I'm not going to call any officer behind the door and say, this is what we are going to do there. Go there and do the proper work of monitoring, directing the conduct of the election.
All right, so there you go. Olatunji Disu, the IGP, speaking ahead of the polls in Osun State. I understand Abiodun Jalabi is back with us, the PPRO Osun State. Mr. Jalabi, your network was bad, but we were asking you just a moment ago about the August 8th incident, the rally in Ilesa, where we understand a 14-year-old boy died as a result of stray bullet.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
We can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead, please.
Okay, concerning the incident that happened in Ilesa, nobody died. Let me state that clear. Nobody died in Ilesa.
So where are the reports coming from that a 14-year-old boy was killed as a result of stray bullets?
You see, that is part of the challenges we are having in the state. People just escalate issues. People just escalate what never happened. You understand? So we made a press release to that effect.
Confirm for us if there was a shooting. Were there shootings?
Yes, there was a shooting in Ilesa, and we made one or two arrests, and investigation is on.
Who shot? The police? Who exactly did the shooting?
Not the police. The preliminary investigation shows that those that shot were Amotekun operatives and some thugs, some political thugs.
All right. So, tell us more about that event and what your findings are so far in terms of your investigations.
Well, immediately we got the feeler, our operative moved to the scene. As I said earlier, the IGP have deployed the FID IRT on ground, and the CP election have done due diligence by deploying them to those high-risk areas. So they were the first respondent to that situation. On getting there, they have to rush those that were hit first to the hospital, and later move back to the scene and recover some exhibits, which include 4 expanded cartridges and a cap of Amotekun operative and some other exhibits. And they didn't just leave the scene at that. They were on ground to stabilize things. They moved around the nooks and crannies of the area, where they sighted a vehicle coming. On stopping the vehicle, and Amotekun operative was inside, and one other person. So they have to apprehend the 2 of them, bring them to the state headquarters here for proper interrogation. It is here they discovered that the person apprehended is the Commissioner for Environment and an Amotekun operative, which was identified at the scene. So investigation is on. The Commissioner for Environment was released the following day, less than 24 hours of his arrest. Meanwhile, we are still analyzing the pellets that came out from the pellet that was recovered at the scene, together with the rifle that was recovered from the Amotekun operatives.
All right. So confirm for us, you have said that some persons were hit, perhaps by bullets.
Three persons, yes.
But nobody died. That's what you're saying.
Nobody died. No, in fact, they have all been discharged as I'm talking to you.
All right. The Commissioner for Environment, was he in possession of any arms or firearms or something? That's Mr. Adejore or so.
He was not in possession. He was, I don't really know, but he was in the vehicle with the Amotekun operative. Probably, I don't know, maybe I hired him as a guard or whatever. We don't know yet.
All right.
I will link up with the FIDRT for more details.
Well, we had thought that for all of what has played out in Osun State, your men would have been on ground at the rally in Ilesa. So I'm surprised you're saying that when you got the notification, you had to move into the area with all of the violence and turbulence that has played out ahead of the polls. One would have thought that the police would have been proactive, not reactive.
Well, thank you very much. That is what I am still trying to confirm. We normally have situations whereby sometimes, in fact, so many times they don't notify us of some of the rally, especially those ones taking place at the ward. They don't. Most times they don't notify the headquarters. So I will reach out. I will do more to reach out to the DPO to confirm if actually there was a written letter, and if there was a written letter, it's our duty to provide security, and if they do.
Well, I mean, you're saying you're going to reach out to the DPO. PRO, that event played out August 8. Today is August 11. It's been 3 days now, so one would have thought that perhaps you would have had those details. But walk us through the numbers of police officers we currently have in Osun State ahead of the polls, with the deployment from the IGP. For instance, the NSCDC says they have deployed 10,210 personnel. INEC says it's deploying 30,000 corps members. So, police, how many police officers are we expected to see, or do we have right now that have been deployed in all?
Thank you very much. The CP election has addressed that. He said that he is expecting over 15,000 police officers to be deployed to Osun State. As I'm talking to you now, we have some units of mobile on ground. We have about 16 units on ground to stabilize the situation first. The other deployments, they will start entering Osun State probably tomorrow or next. But the mobile men are on ground with the CP election, with the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of mobile, to stabilize the atmosphere before other conventional police officers begin to come in.
Piero, can you tell the people of Osun State, those in Osun State and Nigerians here in Nigeria and in the diaspora, that the police is ready for these elections?
Well, I can tell you for what I know, and that is the truth. The police is fully ready. That Saturday, a meeting was held with the ISIS and the INEC. That is the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, comprising of the military, that is the Army, Navy, and Air Force, and other sister security agencies. As I'm talking to you now, we are all gathering at the police headquarters to see how we can work together. We've identified some flashpoints, and we are going there to clear those flashpoints precisely the Ilesa area and some other high-risk areas we've identified. With this put in place and with the deployment we are expecting, as the IGP have rightly said, about 4 police officers to each polling unit, excluding other sister agencies. If we can have 4 police officers and let's say we have 1 or 2 civil defense, immigration is there, customs are there, road safety and others are there. So I think we are ready. The police is ready together with other sister agencies.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where exactly do you stand?
In terms of readiness,
Yes, sir.
I think as I'm talking to you now, we will give ourselves 8.
I'm asking you all of this because when the events play out on the big day on August 15, we will come back here and review your readiness and all of that. Maybe just one final question before I yield to my colleague, because you're the police image maker. Your job is to ensure that people, the residents in Osun State, trust you, believe in you. But the NLC, the governor's wife, and some other women led a protest to the police yesterday. Why does it appear that some section or some group or some persons from Osun State do not trust the police? They don't believe in you. Why does it appear that way?
Thank you very much. That protest, they didn't just come to the police headquarters. They also went to the government secretariat. If you follow up with that protest, it is a peaceful protest, and the Commissioner of Police in charge of elections attended to them, and they were all happy. And what were they calling for? They were calling for those 2 things: free, fair, and credible election, and the incessant killings. Those are the 2 things they called out for, and the Commissioner of Police in charge of election have assured them that as for free, fair, credible, that is the mission, and that is the reason why it was sent down here, that to stabilize the state and to ensure that we have a free, fair, and secure environment for this forthcoming election. And he has promised he won't fail the IG, and with the support of every one of us, he won't fail the IG. So the protest was very peaceful, and the demand was clear. They went to the government secretariat and they equally came to the police headquarters. So that is not as if they didn't trust the police. It was just a peaceful protest to tell us that this is what they want. And let me quickly remind you that we went out on Saturday, the police, NDLEA, NYC, the NANS and others, we went out where we canvassed for a peaceful election also, under the umbrella of POCACOV, that is Police Campaign Against Courtism and Other Vices.
So let's talk about the flashpoint, the places where the police is ultimately concerned. Where are the places the police is ultimately concerned? I know you may not give us all your strategy in terms of mitigation, but I'm sure you've done your mappings. Where should we be looking at critically when it comes to Saturday's election?
Okay, let me just mention a few. We'll be looking at Ilesa. We'll be looking at Ife. We'll be looking at some areas in Ijebu-Jesha, and we won't. Ikire won't be a high-risk area for now because it has been very peaceful for the last 3 weeks or so. So these are the main area: Ilesa, Ife, and part of Ijebu-Jesha.
Let's walk back to some of the arrests that were made. In fact, a crowd has been on the loudspeaker screaming that they've been indiscriminately arrested, that is politically motivated, there are no charges against the people that have been arrested. I'd like you to respond to that. I know statements have been released, but I'd like you to respond to that.
You see, all our arrests have been made either under the intelligence available to the command, or a petition submitted to the Commissioner of Police or to the state command, either to the election CP or to the command CP. So we are only acting based on these 2, and all those arrested, if we see that you have nothing you have no link with the case, with less than 24 hours, you'll be asked to go. and those that are involved will be kept with us. An investigation is on. There is nobody that is being arrested that has nothing to do with the case that is still in custody. All those that have something to do with the case, some of them have been charged to court, some of them are still with us, and some of them have been transferred to the force headquarters. And most of the cases transferred to the force headquarters, the petition was addressed to the Inspector General of Police.
All right, thank you so much, Police PRO, because we're going to be checking in as much as possible as far as this election is concerned. People will be on ground, will be following up. We hope that we're going to have a very peaceful exercise despite the build-up to this election that has been marked by all kinds of violence one way or the other. PPRO of Osun State Police Command, Abiodun Ojelabi, thank you, sir, for coming on the program. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.